I saw this over here and I had to play it up. I haven't even seen what this is about. One of your favorite broadcasters of all time, Joy Reid. Inflation was never part of the normal lexicon until Republicans taught people the word. I mean, holy shit. Holy shit.
So now talking about inflation is a right-wing talking point.
You got it, fam. You got it on the nose. So take down that banner real quick. I'll mute me up. Let's play this. Let's listen to this together for the first time, guys. Convo Couch. We're on Rumble. We're on Rokfin. We're on YouTube. Help us out. Hit the like button. Hit the share button. Get it out there. Thank you to all our Patreons. Thank you to everybody who's a member on Rokfin for $9.99 a month. If you got a few extra bucks in the tin, go over there and do something. Help us out. We love you. You guys always get us on the ground. Brazil was amazing. We want to do Cuba next year, Argentina next year. Who knows in between? We'll see. Let's take a listen. End wokeness, Joy Reid.
Lexicon of the way people talk. So it's interesting that Republicans are doing something they don't normally do, right? Which is not use the common tongue, right? Not use just common English to sort of do on their campaigns like they're doing with crime. But what they've done is they've taught people the word inflation, right? Yeah. Most people who would have never used that word ever in their lives are using it now because they've been taught it, including on TV, including in newspapers. They've been taught this word, and they sort of wrap this word around whatever it is that they really want to vote. The reasons they really want to vote. The people I ever hear use the word inflation are journalists and economists, right? So that is not part of the normal lexicon of the way people talk. So it's interesting that Republicans are doing something they don't normally do, right? Which is not use the common tongue, right? Not use just common English.
Fam, I had to just go through that again. I mean, is she freaking kidding me? Holy cow, fam. Do you have any thoughts about that? What she's trying to say too as well? Because she's like, oh, they're taught that word. People are repeating something. The next video I have, and I want to show you really quickly, is called Yellow Belt for Shitlibs. And what she's saying is exactly what the Democratic Party is doing. And it's so crazy because we've said this before. Anytime somebody accuses somebody of something, especially when it comes to the Democratic Party, they're usually trying to cover up for their own actions. They're projecting it on their opponent. I have something called Yellow Belt for Shitlibs, because what Joy is accusing the Republican Party of doing, the Democratic Party is now doing, right? And they have all these little, and I'm going to play this here. They have all these little videos out there now, like kind of showing. And when I said yellow belt for shitlib, moms, fam, if you already know, if you're a shitlib, right? And you already know 3 Barack Obama quotes, if you already have your magnet of your favorite squad member up on your refrigerator, and finally the term anything's better than Trump is just beat out, and you need to be prepared to take on your uncle, your conservative uncle, who knows a little bit about something about fiscal policy and a little something about economics, you need to be prepared to take them on. So what the shitlibs have done is that they have come up with, oh shit, I just changed that. What they have come up with was a system to teach white woke women on how to get back at their uncle at the Thanksgiving dinner table. I'm going to mute me up.
Oh God, I hate this.
Oh, you got to watch this. We have to watch this. This just blows my mind here, fam. Guys, thank you for doing us that favor. Help us out.
I have to.
Yes, fam. We have to play this real quick.
This is torture. Guys, he's torturing me.
Places. But say you want an example of leadership are in charge, so people are going to vote for Republicans because they assume they're going to fix it. But we should be very clear before you do that they won't fix it. They don't have a single plan to fix it. They can't even really pretend they can fix it because inflation is a global phenomenon. To give you an idea, inflation in the US is around 8.3%. In the UK, it's at 10.1%. The inflation rate in the European Union is at 10.9%. Joe Biden and the Democrats are not in charge in any of those other places. But say you want an example of leadership more aligned with the Republicans. Hungary, for example, who the GOP had their leader, Viktor Orban, as the keynote speaker at not 1, but 2 of their conferences this year. The leader who everyone on the far right, from Fox News to Trump himself, has been touting as the type of leadership America should be embracing. Hungary is at a 24-year high at 20.1%. So maybe destroying your free press and running your nation like an intolerant fascist hellscape for anyone who isn't white, straight, and Christian doesn't actually benefit the economy. Inflation is high because we had a once-in-a-lifetime global pandemic that royally screwed with our supply chain. We're living through a wholly unnecessary war in Ukraine because Russian leadership believes they can just take over a sovereign nation because they want to, and that's royally screwed with our supply chain. And because corporations and retailers are taking advantage of the idea of inflation to raise their prices and gouge the consumer, assuming you will blame the government instead of them. But when you see that corporations are reporting the highest profit margins in 70 years, you get a better idea of who's really to blame for inflation, and it's not the government. Which is why switching who's in charge of the government won't fix it. Corporate greed is exacerbated by the lack of regulations that have allowed an increasingly shrinking number of conglomerates using their monopolies to mark up prices like a cartel, knowing the consumer can't do anything about it because there's no real competition in the market. The Republicans certainly aren't going to do anything about that because those are their donors. They're the party of deregulation and free market. They're the party who wants to add to the high cost of living by repealing the Democrats' bill that lowered drug prices and made corporations pay a minimum corporate tax rate. They are the ones suing to stop student loan forgiveness, and they're the ones who wrote a plan to get rid of Social Security and Medicare. The Republicans aren't going to fix inflation. They're just going to make sure you have less money on top of all of it. Also, if I may, even if the Republicans had the ability to lower inflation, how much are cheaper goods worth to you? Is 40 cents less for a box of cereal worth your democracy? Is $1 less for a gallon of gas worth forcing children to have their rapist babies? Is $1,000 savings on a used car worth your parents losing their earned benefits that help them stay autonomous? You have to be smart with your vote. And expecting a party that adds to the deficit every year and continues to give tax breaks and perks and support to the very people causing inflation to be the people to fix inflation is a fool's errand. And I know you're no fool.
That's the new front line, fam. There's your new sensei for your shitlibs. That's your yellow belt. Look how to tell the truth, then the lie. Get the truth, then the lie. Tell the truth, then the lie. My favorite part, I don't know about you, fam, was like, oh, it's not the government's fault. Like, you can't blame the government for anything. The geopolitics and this, Russian leadership. At least she didn't say Putin. The marketing must be coming back. The information that must be coming back is like, I think they're getting a little bit tired and we're overdoing the Putin thing. We blame Putin for the volcano that erupted on the other side of the earth. Maybe we should back off and go with Russian leadership. Either way, we take the blood off our hands for our foreign policy and we put it on the Russian Federation. What do you think about that, fam? You're muted. You're muted. Muted.
It's late. You know what I hate is that she's co-opting the language, saying, it's about corporate greed. This is why I hate people like the Squad, because they have allowed this in, right? Oh, it's corporate greed. It's not the government. It's corporate greed. It's deregulation, but it's the Republicans doing it. The Democrats are just as bad as the Republicans. You literally, the only good thing about the Republicans right now is that there's more of them that are not wanting to take us to nuclear war. Like, you got Marjorie Taylor Greene, and in fact, you have Russian analysts here saying that we would have gotten into this war sooner if Hillary Clinton had won the election. And I firmly believe that, because Hillary Clinton was so anti-Russia and the whole Burisma situation. I think we would have gotten into this sooner. Maybe it would have been better, maybe it would have been worse, whatever the case may be. But I do think that, and they have to stick Putin in there somehow. Putin has nothing to do with what's going on in the United States or Europe. They're doing that to themselves. We just got done discussing that. They're literally doing it to themselves. The government is screwing their people, their constituents, in order to do what the US wants them to do, basically. That's what it is. They're sacrificing Ukrainians to the last Ukrainian. They're sacrificing Europeans because all these people are going to freeze or they're going to go bankrupt. And they're sacrificing you, the American taxpayer, who is funding this war for Nazis. I don't even call them neo-Nazis. I call them Nazis in the Azov Battalion and a bunch of other little sects that they have there.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, AOC gets to do Instagram videos
Yeah.
about how Elon Musk is terrible and all this other bullshit while she's eating. And like, it's just like we live in a fucking cartoon. I don't
Yeah.
know what to tell you. I don't even know. And then we have articles about how the US military literally drew a penis and how this is important news. I
Well, that they were putting that penis right in Russia's face. But listen, it's funny because with this particular video that was going on, with Joy Reid going, they never heard of the word inflation until it was brought up. In other words, they're just saying that all the Republicans do is they hear a buzzword and they repeat it. They get a bumper sticker point, they repeat it. And meanwhile, you see the Democrats create this whole thing to just literally give a class on bumper sticker points of view. The thing that really sucks is the person that shared that was one of the coolest persons I've ever met in California. And she is just, unfortunately, she's on this quest. I have a feeling that in a couple of years she'll come around when she sees it, but she's at like top peak shit liberty right now and thinking that this shit that's coming off. I mean, everything that woman was telling was the truth, then a lie, truth, then a lie, truth, then a lie. This is the talking point. The thing about it is if she gets into it too deep, politic girl, with somebody who's going to have answers to push back on that whole situation, it's going to suck. But for the most part, 90% of the United States citizens, that there alone will get you to the next base. I mean, it's a smart tactic to get a yellow belt class. That's not white belt. That's yellow belt. That's after you've got your Obama quotes down. And like I said, you got your magnet of Ilhan Omar, maybe Rashida Tlaib on your refrigerator, and you can no longer say anything is better than Trump. You have to get a little bit more.
Yeah.
This is it. And I think they did a great job on
they
that.
Co-opted every aspect of the progressive movement. Every single aspect of it.